Hi Libra, welcome to your 2016 year ahead astrology forecast. I think you're going to like 2016 much better than 2015 or 14. And that's because the ongoing Pluto-Uranus square, they are separating. Now there's a couple of times where they are closer together, they never go exact, but their influence can be felt. Starting in January, at the Capricorn new moon on January 9th, Pluto and Uranus are rather closely together. They're separated by about a degree. And so they still do have somewhat of an influence in your life, but nowhere near the significance that it's had in the past. And for most of you, you've already made the changes that you needed to make to empower yourself, to do what's right for you, to do what is appropriate for you. And so we can say that in 2016, you're going to be having a lot of time working behind the scenes and doing things that heal you. Probably if you've made a lot of changes, over the past 10 years, especially in this last 9 years, 8 years, 7 years, that this is a time for you to focus on finishing up projects, meditating, journaling, writing, spending a lot of time in nature, doing things that nourish and nurture your soul, your well-being, your health, and doing things that empower you so that you can take advantage of the opportunities that will be here for you in this new year. Venus, your ruling planet, is direct all year, and that's good news. She retrogrades every 18 months. And so in 2016, she does not retrograde at all, which means you can be on the go in 2016. You can move forward in 2016. And as the Pluto-Uranus separate, the action is really with the mutable signs in 2016. The Virgos, the Pisces, the Geminis, the Sagittarians. Those are the ones being called to action now. Those are the signs that are really being drawn out into the fray, into, being on the front lines, being in the action. Now, Venus moving forward is such good news for you, and Jupiter moves into Leo on September 9th. Mark your calendar for that day, 9/9/2016. When you have Jupiter in your own sign, I don't care what's going on. I mean, Pluto and Uranus are heavy duty, and Saturn's heavy duty, and Neptune. But having Jupiter in your own sign, great things happen, good things happen, positive things happen, and you feel better. You feel so much better. And so it's awesome. And you have that to look forward to this year when Jupiter moves into your sign in September and will be in your sign until October 2017, and he'll still be working for you even then, because when he moves into Scorpio, that's a big hit in the money belt. That's where he moves from expanding you to expanding your wealth, expanding your prosperity. So you have a lot to look forward to this year. The Pluto-Uranus are separating. And even when they do their dance in Capricorn in January, I think because we're all so jazzed that we're in the new year, it doesn't affect like it does, other times of the year. And so, if you're doing what's right for you in your relationships, and you're doing what's right for you in your life, then these energies are going to empower you. They're going to empower you to live your best life. And isn't that what it's all about? Is living our best life? And we all have to make changes to do that. Even as we get older, we can get stuck in old patterns that have nothing to do with who we are today. And so you have an opportunity to really take a look at your patterns, what you're doing, and what even subtle changes you could be making so that you are working less, making more time for yourself, working less, making more money, working less, making more love. Yeah! Okay, now you have your last eclipse on March 23rd. Hallelujah! And this eclipse isn't even a total eclipse. This is a penumbral lunar eclipse at 3 degrees Libra on March 23rd. So as you go into spring, you have your your last eclipse, and I love this because guess what? There's no challenging aspects to this eclipse. In fact, Mars is in harmonious energy flow with your penumbral partial lunar eclipse. He is sextile in the moon, trine in the sun, trine in Mercury. This is good news. So your last eclipse isn't even a total eclipse, and it's partial. So it's not going to be as powerful as, say, the total solar eclipse in Pisces on March 8th, and that's also a supermoon. And that has more to do with your health, your work habits, your lifestyle. This is what I'm getting. Okay, so another thing is beautiful Venus will be in Pisces at the time of your lunar eclipse. And when planets move into Pisces, they get opposed by Jupiter in Virgo and challenged by Saturn in Sagittarius. So for you, this is behind the scenes. It's not impacting Libra directly, even at your own lunar eclipse. It is more about how are you taking care of yourself? Do you need to make lifestyle changes? Do you need to make changes to your daily routine? Do you need to make changes in your work habits, your health habits, how you feed yourself mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically? How are you taking care of yourself? This year is where the action is for you, actually. I mean, yes, you still have Pluto in the area of your foundation, and yes, you have Uranus in the area of relationships. However, the action is calling all of us to the area of the mutable, which is, for you, working behind the scenes, working on your health or your work habits, your lifestyle, how you think. That's where Saturn is. And for you, the way out is for travel. Short distance travel, long distance travel, outer body travel. We don't always have to physically travel. And so this energy is going to be intense, but it's really not for you because it's in the area of your life that has more to do with working on, taking good care of yourself, meditating, resting, recharging your batteries, finishing unfinished business. It's not intense, which is good news, because you have been such a major player for so long in the intensity of these planetary energies. Now it's shifting to the mutable, and that gives you a break. That is easier, much easier. That's why I see this year being much easier, 2017 being easier for you, because Pluto and Uranus are separating. And even for those of you that are still dealing with those two, you are dealing with them one at a time, most of you. Some of you are still dealing with Pluto Uranus at the same time, but most of you are dealing with them one at a time. Now those Libras born 17 days into Libra and 25 days into Libra will be working with the Uranian energy, and that is taking a stand for who you are, taking a stand for what you believe, taking a stand for what's true for you. And as long as you're doing that, then you're using these energies the right way. Now, it doesn't mean we don't listen to other people, and it doesn't mean we don't take our partner consideration, what they want and need, into consideration. But you do that by nature. What's being asked of you is to be more like the Aries, which is love yourself more than the need for someone. Love yourself more than the need for the approval of others. And that's what your Uranus is waking up in the Libras, those born 17 days in to 25 days in. And so this is your opportunity to continue that self-love, self-appreciation, self-respect, doing what's right for you, loving you, being kind to you. You're so good to others. I want to see you be good to you. And when you do that, things fall into place. And you're really getting ready for Jupiter. And, you know, especially with this energy going on behind the scenes with you and the Pisces and the Virgo. You know, Virgo's 12 signs, so Virgo rules, you know, working behind the scenes. Pisces is about your work habits and your health habits, your service to the world, your karma in the world, what you're doing, your promise to the universe, what you came here to do in the turning of the ages, what you've agreed to do. And so this is a time for you to work on those areas, which really has to do with your health, your well-being, your vitality, you know, building up your energy reserves, especially for those of you that have really been through it with the Pluto-Uranus, and that's behind you now, especially those firstborn in the first 10 days of Libra. They went through it the greatest impact because Pluto and Uranus were directly on you at that time, and even Saturn was in Libra at that time. So you didn't catch a break, but the later degree signs are dealing with that one at a time. So I really like what I'm seeing in here for you. So you're working behind the scenes up until September. This is a great time for you to meditate, finish unfinished business, finish projects, rest, restore, rejuvenate yourself. You are passing through a cycle of endings and beginnings. So finish the unfinished business so that you can get ready for the new that's coming with Jupiter. And that is really exciting. Now, Mars, the planet of action and desire, is going retrograde in 2016. He retrogrades every 2 years. Venus every 1.5, Mars every 2. And they're so important because these personal planets really describe a person and what you like, what you don't like, what drives you. And so Mars being in Scorpio, and he's going to be in Scorpio for 18 weeks or 131 days. That's very significant. And Mars, he starts to retrograde in Sagittarius on April 17th at 9 degrees Sagittarius, and then he moves back into Scorpio on the 28th of May, and then he turns direct in Scorpio on June 29th at 23 degrees Scorpio. But overall, he's in Scorpio for 131 days. Well, Scorpio brings the action for you into the area of your money, into your resources, into your habit patterns, into your talents, your gifts, your abilities, your sense of self-worth, self-appreciation. And so this is a good time for you to clean house, clean out the attic, clean out the basement, get rid of things, sell them on eBay, sell things that no longer hold value for you, that you don't need anymore, you haven't been using. Sell them on eBay, sell them on Craigslist, have a garage sale. This is the time with Mars retrograde in this area of your life, April 17th through June 29th, is a wonderful time for you to have a yard sale, a garage sale. Sell off all the stuff that's just taking up space and clean it all out and create the space for the new to come in. As you change, the things you like will change. So possessions you no longer need, sell them off. And you're also going to have the opportunity to look at how well you're using your resources. Now, resources, yes, of course, we always consider as money or real estate or investments, but your resources are your time, your energy, your love, your talent, your gifts, your abilities. Those are your resources too. How are you using those to create the life you want, to create what you want? And so with Mars here in reverse, you're going to have an opportunity to go over these things, to go over how you're using your resources to build a stronger financial foundation for yourself. Are there any conflicts in regards to your resource as well as in regards to other people's resources, such as a partner or a spouse, someone you share resources with? Do they value what you value? And are you, using your resources wisely? As well as, how are you nurturing your self-worth? How are you taking care of yourself and doing things that increase your sense of self-worth, self-appreciation? This will be the time for you to work on these areas. Now, when Mars is retrograde, we do not want to start a new project. We do not want to start a new business. It is not the time, because when Mars is retrograde, when you try to start a new business or a new project, things backfire. Things just fizzle out because he's the planet of energy. You can't get anything done without him. And if he's asleep, and that's what a planet does when they retrograde, they go to sleep, it's not the time to start something new. And so you don't want to be putting energy into something new when it's like trying to go swimming in the ocean when the tide's out. There's no water. How are you going to go swimming? So how are you going to launch a new business when there's no energy? And, anybody that starts anything new under Mars retrograde, it won't turn out the way you want it to, and you have to start all over again anyway when Mars goes direct at the end of June. So why not just wait until July 1st, and launch anew. There's no Mercury retrograde in July, there's no Mars retrograde in July, so why not wait until then and go for it then? You never find a time during the year where everything's direct. Everything is direct going into the year for 5 days. But then Mercury goes retrograde January 5th. And Mercury going retrograde on January 5th means he's already in the shadow period on January 1st. So there really isn't a good time to launch a new business or project January 1st because Mercury's in a shadow period. He's about to go retrograde on the 5th. So it's not there either. And you could find a date in July, and there are dates that can be found throughout the year that are good for initiating new projects and new businesses, but not when Mars is retrograde. And I don't recommend it when Mercury is retrograde either. It's just very challenging, especially when Mercury is retrograde, because the devil's in the details, and you don't have all the details. And so this is going to be a really interesting year. But again, it's not so intense for you because the energy is moving, like I said, more into the mutable signs and less pressure on the Libras or the cardinal signs, the Aries, the Libra, the Capricorn, and the Cancers, which is good news. And there are 4 Mercury retrogrades in 2016, and that's kind of unusual because we typically only have 3. But this year we have 4. And so Mercury will be retrograde January 5th through January 26th in Capricorn. Then he retrogrades in Taurus April 28th through May 22nd. And then in Virgo, August 30th through September 21st. And then the last one is in Capricorn again, December 19th through December 8th. So for some of you, you may be thinking about moving this year with the Mercury retrograde there twice, or, children could come back home to live with you, or, children move out. There's still a lot of activity going on in the area of the home for you because of the Pluto, as well as the faster moving planets coming through and Mercury coming through twice. is very significant. So, you know, that's why it's really important that you take good care of yourself and look at your diet, look at your exercise, look at your routines and what you can change up so you are feeling strong in your body and, you know, riding the wave with these energies. And the eclipses have moved out of, you know, the most potent areas of your chart, the cardinal houses, and they've moved into behind the scenes, which is much easier to manage. You know, having the March, the total solar eclipse in Pisces, that's behind the scenes. Well, actually it's in the area of health, well-being, vitality. And then the final Libra, lunar eclipse in the first house. But again, that is in no challenging aspects to the sun and the moon, and Mars is empowering it. So that looks like a good energy for you. Maybe you'll be completing something in March. Maybe you're finishing up something that has to do with your health, and maybe you're doing some sort of makeover too, you know, where you're doing a life makeover or a beauty makeover, something new, and but also completions, because full moons bring things to completions and eclipses are endings and beginnings. So you could be completing something at that time as well as beginning something new. And you know, you could be finishing up a book, finishing up a website, finishing up a new business, and that's fine to launch then because there's no Mercury retrograde, there's no Mars retrograde. So if you can take action in March, that would be a good time for you to launch a new business, launch a new project, launch something new. Very good time. And this is an overview. I'll go into detail as we get closer to the months, right? I'm looking down the road, and you know, when you look way down the road, you know, things look different. Then you get up close and it's like, oh, I thought that house was purple, it's blue. And so, you know, this is just to give you a feel for the upcoming year and give you an idea about where the energies are going to be. And, you know, the retrogrades, you know, they're a challenging time for all of us. For you, you know, the Taurus one will be where you're looking at your partner's resources and what your partner, the financial, what your partner's bringing in, or you're going over things with your partner in regards to shared resources with the Taurus. But the others have more to do with behind the scenes, right? Capricorn more to do with the home, and Virgo with resting and recharging your batteries. So again, it's not even about you, which gives you a break. It gives you an opportunity to get things done, to move ahead, to rest, to recharge your batteries. That's awesome. Okay. So now the Venus will T-square the Jupiter, the Saturn, and the Neptune at the time of your lunar eclipse, because as the faster moving planets move through the mutables, they get involved with the T-square between Jupiter, Neptune, and Saturn. So this could have something to do with, you know, your health, how well you're taking care of yourself, but it could also be about you trying to finish up something you're working on, maybe a project, maybe a book, maybe something you're publishing or you're teaching or you're writing, and you're trying to get things finished up and completed, you know, and that's what it's about. Do what you got to do and take good care of you. Now Saturn is in the area, it's like in the most benign area of your life is where Saturn is. It's like any place in the chart, having him here where he is with you is the most benign. But for some people it can feel boring, like they feel like, oh, I'm spinning my wheels and I'm not going anywhere, I'm spinning my wheels and things aren't changing. It's okay, because where Saturn's going, he's bottoming out in the chart. And it's not about like big career in the world or big worldly success. Doesn't mean you can't have it. or you're not working on those things. But wherever Saturn is where you are redefining yourself. And so for you, it's in the area of how you think, how you communicate. And so you are rewiring your brain with this structural change that Saturn's doing with you. Now Saturn is in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius sextiles the Libra. So that's positive energy flow. That's much easier than when he gets to Capricorn in the foundation, starting in December 21st, 2017. That's when it's going to be a time where you do have to step things up again. And so here, it's a wonderful time to just strengthen yourself, strengthen your foundation, strengthen your life. This is the time for you to strengthen your life and areas of your life so that later, years from now, if you're being challenged, you've got the resources, you've got the strength, because you used Saturn now to shore up your foundation, strengthen yourself. So being bored is good, right? It's like the doorway to bliss. Boredom is the doorway to joy. Less is more. And so if you're trying to start things and they're not happening, that's the universe saying, hey, you don't need to start anything right now. Or are you really on the right path? So now it doesn't mean you can't start things now. Absolutely you can, but you're in this cycle of when Saturn goes below the horizon, the person is working on themselves. So when Saturn was in Libra, you were redefining who you are. Then when he went into Scorpio, you were redefining what you love and value, what's most important to you. Now in Sagittarius, you're redefining what you think, how you listen, how you speak. And so this is very personal. And he won't be above the horizon, bringing you back out into the social world until he goes into Aries. Now, once he gets to Capricorn, you're going to be rebuilding your foundation. But then when he gets into Aquarius, you will be interacting with others. But you'll be a new you by then because of all this growth you've been doing. All of the growth work you've been doing all these years. And so that's why you don't want to be in a hurry, because he's coming to the bottom of the chart. He's moving to the foundation of the chart. And when he's there, it's not about having this elaborate, big career or social life. Doesn't mean you can't. Doesn't mean you don't. It just means that the universe is saying, don't be in a hurry. Don't be driven by the things of this world. Don't be driven by the externals. Come from your soul's desires. Come from your inner being. Make your choices from what your soul is desiring. When I channel, I have to stop and listen. I can't talk and listen. And so when I hear your guides coming through and wanting me to talk, I have to listen, and then I'm not talking. So let me look. Oh yes. Okay. So we have the 4 eclipses in 2016, and for you, they're behind the scenes, and the September one, that is in the Virgo. Those are partials too. And then the Pisces. So again, it keeps going back over the same area with you, which has to do with how you're taking care of yourself, working behind the scenes, and resting and recharging your batteries. Now, when Jupiter moves into Libra, that is going to bless you with new opportunities, new relationships, new friendships, new abundance. It's going to bring good things to you, and it does initiate a new 12-year cycle of growth. And that's really exciting. That's why you want to spend the first 9 months of the year resting, recharging your batteries, taking good care of you, because when Jupiter comes into your sign, you're going to want to be, taking advantage of the new opportunities and new friendships, partnerships that are on the way for you. Jupiter will oppose Uranus. Jupiter is going to oppose Uranus on December 26th. And I love Jupiter-Uranus aspects. I don't care if they're opposing, squaring, or whatever, because they can bring sudden opportunities, sudden breakthroughs, brilliant breakthroughs. Challenge is Pluto's involved. And so, you know, that could bring some intensity into your life around Christmas of next year. Jupiter will oppose Uranus December 26, 2016, and then in March and September 2017, because Jupiter will keep going back over that same aspect with Uranus in Aries, Jupiter in Libra. So it will bring to conscious awareness any changes you need to make in relationship at that time, and any changes you need to make in the home. It will be probably the same issues you've been dealing with for a while, and maybe you haven't made any changes yet, but with Jupiter moving in, and wherever Jupiter touches, he expands and grows it and makes it bigger. So with Jupiter in your sign, you're going to want to, you know, make things right and make changes that empower you and strengthen you. And yes, you always want to create the win-win. So for those of you looking for love, I'm not seeing like, woo, look at that, you know, but that doesn't mean as the months go on that it's not going to happen. When I look at the overview of the year, the focus is really on you and taking good care of you and finishing things up and completing relationships. When Jupiter gets into your sign, that could be a time of new beginning in relationship where the universe brings you someone really good or a new friend. That blossoms into something more. That absolutely can be a possibility for many of you. With the Jupiter-Uranus thing going on at the end of the year, and then the Pluto, you know, it can be, you know, a relationship breakthrough. Or maybe, you know, you're married or you're coupled with someone, and, you know, you guys come to a beautiful agreement with each other. Like you mutually arrange the relationship or restructure it in a way that you both like. It serves both of you. So there's opportunity for those of you already partnered and coupled to make changes that are the win-win for both of you. You know, you can stay with the same person if you restructure it and you allow each other to grow, but when you don't want the other person to grow or they don't want you to grow, that's what blows things up. And so if you're allowing the growth and you're allowing each other to grow and evolve, then you can just keep going with this energy and, you know, be in the love joy, have the love fest, continue. So I'm not seeing a lot in the career when I look ahead, you know, again for the year. When planets get into Cancer, that's when your career sector really takes off, Cancer and Leo, but we're not there yet. And so from what I'm looking at here, again, the big thing with you is taking good care of yourself, loving on you, loving on what you're doing, just being in the moment, being here now, taking your time with things. And then when Jupiter goes into your sign, look out. It's really amazing. Now, how is your health? You know, you do have Neptune there, and then Jupiter is opposing. And so are there any things going on in your health that need your focus and attention? Are there anything going on in that area that you want to improve? As well as the work you're doing in the world, you know, how is that going for you? You know, many of you are in work that has to do with helping the planet, or helping the environment, or helping the children, or helping, you know, others have a better life. And so how is that going for you? I see big focus there for you in 2016, 2017, you know, big focus going on in how you work, your service to the planet. Spiritually, you're going to grow so much this year, it's going to amaze you. Your psychic abilities are going to increase, your intuition is going to increase, your inner knowing, and the more you spend out in nature and away from the electronics. Get away from the electronics. Just get out in nature. Listen to the wind, listen to the birds, listen to the animals, listen to the rivers and the water, and just listen to nature. And there's so much there for you to nourish and nurture you and strengthen you. And, you know, just get ready for Jupiter. He's got a big smile for you. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, favoring, sharing, and Google Plusing my podcast, Libra. You're so awesome. Thank you for subscribing. You totally rock! And if you would like for me to take a detailed look at your astrology in 2016, 2017, it's very easy. The link is below in the Show More section. You go to my astrology service page, you purchase your session. Upon checkout, you get the link to my schedule, and you're scheduled. Or if you're interested in coaching, you go to the link in my Show More section, the section below. It takes you to my coaching page. You purchase a session. Upon checkout, you get the link to my schedule, and we're coaching you. So until next time, Libra, keep looking up. You got a lot to look forward to in 2016. Jupiter's going to make you happy. I hope your days stay easy and your moments pass slow, and each road leads you where you want to go. And if you're faced with the choice and you have to choose, I hope you choose the one that means the most to you. And if one door opens to another door closed, I hope you keep on walking till you find the window. If it's cold outside, show the world the warmth of your smile. But more than anything, yeah, more than anything, my wish for you is that this life becomes all that you want it to. Your dreams stay big, your worries stay small. You never need to carry more than you can hold. And when you're out there getting where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves you and wants the same things too. Yeah, this is my wish. Yeah, this is my wish.